Hey, welcome back to the Shayne and Max show. My name is Shayne.
My name's Max, and satin sheets provide poor traction.
They do.
Yeah.
They're cool to look at, though.
They're cool to look at, and
they're very comfy.
Yeah, and I every now and then you'll be like in Target or wherever satin sheets are being sold. I don't know. I don't go sheet shopping. This has happened to me more than once where I'm with a girl and we're in a store and they're like, "Ooh, satin sheets. We should get some satin."
I think
sheets.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, and everybody makes that mistake.
And they use them like once and they realize it's too slippery they never use them again.
It's fucking slippery. You can't.
And then you have fucking satin sheets sitting in your closet for like years.
Yeah, and it's no good for.
Or what you can do is you can like use them on your guests. When your guests come over, if you're fancy and you have a guest room.
Yeah. Be
like, good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, this is a podcast about nothing.
That makes you think of something.
And hey, it's been a minute.
It has.
I don't think we did one episode last month.
Yeah.
We used to say this was the bi-weekly-ish podcast. I think it's going to be the bi-monthly-ish podcast, maybe.
It's the whenever we feel like podcast.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah.
It's the Shayne and Max show. It's the whenever we feel like it podcast. It's a podcast about nothing.
That makes you think of something.
And so we're here. We're recording. Damn, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Yeah.
We were going to record last week, but I had my sink fiasco happen.
You did. And honestly, I would have struggled with it because my leg was hurting so much.
So what happened with your leg?
All right. So it was sore. So I used a Theragun on it.
Right. Which you should.
Which you should. But I overdid it. Like I really pounded the shit out of it.
Pounded the shit out of it?
Yeah. And then, and I did that twice in one day.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. And the next day I woke up and it was just fucking...
Dude, getting old.
Yeah, man.
We were talking about that yesterday. Like I had this experience last week where I didn't realize I had bad knees.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could go and squat some heavy weights and like not have a problem. My knees don't hurt and nothing like that.
Yeah.
My dog is a little hyperactive, right?
Yeah.
By little, I mean she's a lot hyperactive.
Yeah. She's an energetic dog.
Yeah. And so I decided like last week, like, okay, maybe if I sprint with her, that might help her mellow out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so like every like 20 feet, we do like wind sprints.
Right.
And it was fine during the time. And I felt it like the last time we were coming back and we did one more sprint and I felt my knee twinge a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck. And I was thinking in my head, right? I'm like, this dog, because the one thing I despise about all encompassing working out,
mm-hmm.
right? Because I pretty much love all encompassing working out.
All right.
But there's one thing in working out that I hate.
Yeah.
And that's running.
It's running. I
can't, for all my life, I've been a terrible runner. Don't like it. It's not my cup of tea.
Me too. And I was on the cross country team in high school.
Right.
I really gave it my best shot.
Yeah.
It is not for me.
Me and running have never gotten along, right?
Yeah.
But I was only doing it for this dog. And I'm thinking when I'm running, I'm like, if this dog turns me into a runner, I'm going to be pissed.
Right.
Right? I'm going to be pissed if this dog turns me into a runner.
Well, or you might just be a runner who enjoys running.
But I don't enjoy it.
Well, then it wouldn't turn you into a runner.
No. But anyway, so since then, my knee's been fucked.
Uh-huh.
Not fucked. I mean, it hurts. Like if I step on it, if I bend it and go upstairs, it hurts when I go up the stairs.
So when you do regular knee stuff, it hurts.
But it didn't hurt the other day when I was squatting. And I was squatting pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Right? But as soon as I took my knee pads off and I started walking back to my car, guess what?
Yeah.
It started hurting.
Yeah, the knee, like your car, it has a bunch of different gears.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of a metaphor.
Right.
It has a bunch of different gears, and so for the squatting gear is still in good shape.
Right.
But one of those gears or two of those gears.
Right. So what I started doing for myself is I started using that roll-on icy hot shit.
Oh, yeah, man.
Dude, 2 days later, I'm pretty much good.
Kira uses that stuff, and she likes it.
Yeah, I used it on my little knee area, and you could feel it get hot, and then it got it cold, and then like now it's fine.
That's good.
And I used it this morning once, so I figure I'll use it tonight when I go to sleep. But getting old, dude.
Getting old sucks, man.
Like I'm glad I'm not one of those guys that wakes up and just fucking injures my back by getting out of bed.
I know what you, dude. I fucking one time I was in the shower and I sneezed
Right.
like while I was washing my hair.
Right.
And I fucking I fucked my back for 2 weeks. My back was fucked.
See, I've never had
because I sneezed in the shower washing my hair.
I've never had that experience before where I'm like, I know people that have, like you and other people that are old like me and you.
Yeah.
But they just do something. I know a guy that he walked out of his house, walked down his porch and fucking shattered his ankle.
Damn.
Yeah. But he was also like 300 something pounds.
Well, that's so much wear and tear that eventually it fucking goes
But it's
bust.
just like, dude, like I know how to take care of myself pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like, I don't get injured when I lift and like, I don't get sore too much. Like I get sore, but it's not like horrible to where I'm dying. But this knee thing just brought it all back to me that I was old.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I'm just like, dude, it's just I did 4 wind sprints.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I hate running. I hate running.
And your knee decided to make a statement
Yeah.
that you weren't going to be doing that anymore.
Yeah. And I could remember when I used to do CrossFit, we'd had to run all the time. And I fucking hated it back then too. And I'd always get like the back of my calf. I'd always pull something in the back of my calf.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to, dude, it was bad. Like, and I just couldn't run. I've never been a runner.
Yeah.
So.
I used to be able to sprint just fine.
Right.
I did a lot because I was on the lacrosse team.
Right.
I could out endurance sprint anyone on the lacrosse team. I wasn't the fastest, but I could.
Right.
I could keep sprinting all day long.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It's
just weird getting old.
It sucks. I hurt my leg 2 weeks and 2 days ago. And it still hurts. It's literally a pain in my ass.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. That's where most of the pain is at this point. It's mostly gone away, but my ass is still sore.
Is that where it is? The back of the hammy?
So it's the
gluteus maximus?
It's the back of the hammy and the gluteus on the right side.
Okay.
It's just my right ass cheek. Everything around there hurts.
You sure you weren't doing some heavy bondage?
I was not doing any heavy bondage. And the crazy thing, like I heard it 2 weeks and 2 days ago, and it still hurts.
Yeah, it takes a long time to heal when you're an old man and you don't do nothing.
I'm 40 years old, which is not old by any means, but 20-year-old me would have been good as new in 3 days.
Dude, 20-year-old you would have been
probably wouldn't have even got hurt to begin with.
But you wouldn't even if you were hurt, you'd be like, I'm okay.
Honestly, 20-year-old me would not have. I would have been too inebriated to actually feel the pain. And I would have done something horrible and made it way worse.
Yeah. So
I'm glad it didn't happen to 20-year-old me. I remember, man, but
see, at least you're not one of those people that deny that you're in pain. You know those people that deny stuff?
Yeah.
Like if you're in pain or something like that. Like I was thinking about this the other day, speaking about one of our friends.
Yeah.
He doesn't like when I name him on the podcast anymore, so I'm not going to name him on the podcast.
Okay.
But you remember when he got all super depressed?
Uh-huh.
And we would call him and be like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I remember one time I had this full conversation with him, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why don't you go to a doctor? Why don't you go to a psychiatrist or something? Maybe you can get some help or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, they're just going to give me medication. They're going to tell me what I already know, that I'm already depressed. I'll just finish this last season of Star Trek Next Generation. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
It'll be cool.
And then he decides he's going to smoke pot to get over the depression.
Yeah. 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 So medication.
Medication.
Yeah.
Exactly. In a different way. But if you're built like us, it's that you don't use that stuff as medically provided. That's the thing. I've thought about this, man. I was like thinking about this. I'm glad I never tried doing medical pot.
Yeah. I also never tried the medical pot thing, but it was readily available where I was.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's readily available to me, but I'm like, I know how I would be with it because I remember when I was trying to quit drinking on my own.
Yeah.
I was trying to quit getting loaded on my own. And all I would do is smoke dope, smoke pot. I sound like a fucking old man when I say dope.
Yeah.
All I would do is smoke pot, right?
That whippersnapper's smoking dope.
Smoking that dope. Smoking that.
He's smoking the reefers.
Lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce got me. So I smoked the devil's lettuce. I like the devil's lettuce better.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that too.
So I smoked the devil's lettuce, right? And it went from like casually doing it to like all the time. Like I was fucking stoned all the time.
Yeah.
Just to keep me away from a drink, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I know that if somebody puts it in my little fucking head and I'm not right with myself, they're like, oh, dude, that little knee injury, if you smoke a little pot or whatever, it'll fucking go away. And if I'm like not in the right frame of mind, I could be like, you know what, you're probably right.
Yeah.
And I came close like once. There was once where I was not sleeping well.
Yeah.
And I'm passing by a dispensary. And I'm like, I bet if I go in there, I could find something in there that'll help me sleep.
Dude, I don't know if you know this, and this is a good thing actually, because it'll put a hiccup in any like fucking like impulsive, like fuck it, I'm gonna go give it a shot kind of thing. But dispensaries, dude, you gotta fucking register and show ID and fill out a form just to get in the door.
Yeah, well, I didn't go. I just was passing by it, and the thought entered my head. It was like, I bet if I get some medical marijuana, I bet if I get some of that medical devil's lettuce, I'd be able to sleep.
I bet you would too.
The way I was starting to convince myself of it, I was just like, that's not good. So luckily I know what to do when those thoughts come up, and it didn't happen. But just like entertaining the thought wasn't like, oh, it'll help me sleep. The entertaining thought went from, oh, it'll help me sleep to, I could do it all the fucking time and it would be okay. Like within an instant.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, it'll help me. Like I remember I'm driving past the dispensary. I see it. I think one of the pictures showed something like it could help you sleep. And the person in the picture is like all peacefully sleeping. And I'm like, yes, it could help me sleep. And then as soon as I said, yes, it could help me sleep, I was like, yes, and I could do it all the time. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
No. Because I remember when I was stoned all the time.
Yeah. No, me too, man.
It was not fun. I ate a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's good. It's good to eat. I mean, music can be better sometimes.
Right.
It's enjoyable stuff, but it also is, it can lead to bad places if you are inclined towards compulsive drug use.
Yeah, I am very compulsive with that stuff.
Oh, me too, man. I started drinking regularly to try to get a control of my pot smoking.
Right. So you did the opposite of what I did.
Yeah. And lo and behold, that did not work out well for me at all. I was better off a pothead, but you know.
So anyway, I got a new segment I want to try.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I want to call it, you ready for the intro?
Let's hear it.
Let me clear my throat. You ready? Here it goes.
Cow fart surprise.
Yep. 3 random facts.
So not cow fart surprise.
No, it's 3 random facts.
All right. So are the facts random in that they're like totally unrelated, or
no? They're random about one particular topic.
So 3 facts about a random topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 facts about a random topic. But 3 random facts sounds better.
It does. I feel like it's misleading.
It's not,
but let's do it. Let's do it.
So I thought about doing 3 random facts about baseball.
Wait. You said it. That's the name. 3 facts.
Yeah. Okay. So so let me change it. Let me go back.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Yeah.
New segment for Shayne and I show.
Yeah.
3 facts.
You know, that doesn't sound
Random facts sounds better.
Wait, try this. Little alliteration. 3 fun facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
New segment for Shayne and I show. 3 fun facts.
Doesn't quite work with the way you said it, but I think that would be the 3 fun facts.
3 fun facts.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so I was going to do baseball since it's baseball season.
Yeah, hey.
But then I got something better because I remember when I was a kid in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do 3 facts about the Satanic Panic.
Oh, shit. Old school.
Yeah.
All right.
The Satanic Panic, in case you didn't know, was a big thing in like 85, 86, 87, 88.
Yep.
That time frame.
It never entirely went away.
No, it's still going around.
In some communities, it's still big. Yeah.
You'll see in these 3 facts how ridiculous it was.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right?
Yeah.
And you could just riff if you want.
All right.
Okay, the first one.
Yeah.
The P&G logo panic.
The PG logo.
P&G.
Like Procter & Gamble?
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right. Wait, don't they make cereal?
Yep, you gotta listen.
All right.
You think cancel culture is new?
Cancel culture is new.
In the 1980s,
All right.
Procter & Gamble had to change their 100-year-old logo because people thought the man in the moon had 666 hidden in his beard. A rumor spread that the CEO confessed to being a Satanist on Donahue, a show he never even appeared on.
Oh.
P&G eventually sued for libel, but the logo was already a goner.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, people make a big deal? Like, they're like, oh, I could see it in his beard. It's in his beard.
Can I imagine?
Yeah.
Have you been on the internet lately?
Yeah, but this is before, like, the internet, dude. This is the 80s. Do you know how hard? Like, it is super easy these days to, like, cause some chaos on the internet and get somebody canceled. In the 80s, that shit was hard.
Every time I go on Instagram, because it knows I love this shit,
right?
There's somebody showing me a picture of a logo or something, and there's a goddamn some crazy symbol hidden in it that means everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit like that. But yeah, I mean, it was hard to get enough people to where the guy, like, to even have the myth going around that the CEO confessed to being on Donahue saying he was a Satanist.
Right. And was this like, this is probably before, no, this was before like DVR.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just be like, no, go watch the episode. It's like, check it out on YouTube. I didn't say it.
Yeah, you couldn't do that. It was like enough people, like, the guy had to come out and say, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
And by that point, people didn't believe him.
Yeah. No, I get it. How do you prove it?
They're like, dude, you're a Satanist. You were on Donahue. And they're like, nobody knows the episode.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what the episode is. The guy from Procter & Gamble being on Donahue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 2. Ready?
Number 2.
The Smurfs, the tiny blue menace.
Hell yeah.
If you grew up in the 80s, your parents might have burned your Smurfs. Why? Because a tiny blue guy in a red hat doing alchemy was considered a gateway to the occult. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
There was even a popular urban legend that Smurf dolls would come to life at night and bite children.
God damn.
Apparently, being 3 apples tall was the perfect height for a demonic minion.
The perfect height for a demonic minion is 3 apples tall.
3 apples tall.
That gives them the greatest opportunity to serve Satan, being 3 apples tall.
Yeah, to serve Satan, and I can get where they come to a gateway to the occult. Little blue guys are a gateway to the occult. But I can get it if you ever watched a fucking Smurfs episode.
Yeah, no, I get that too.
It's very culty.
A bit, and it makes no sense.
Right.
I mean, their economy is based on Smurf berries.
What if the other one I got from the Smurf is, what if the Smurf berries were drugs?
What if the Smurf berries were drugs?
They had to be drugs, right?
That would make more sense than them just being
the occult.
Yeah, it would.
Like if they were 3 apple high drug peddlers.
Yeah, I actually have a Smurf theory.
Right.
It's not a conspiracy theory. I just feel like this kind of tracks for the Smurf. I think this is like the hidden truth of the Smurfs. Like, so
lay it on me.
All right. Supposedly, like, Papa Smurf was like the respected, elder, and supposedly Smurfette was kind of a fun side character that they had around.
Yeah.
I think Smurfette was actually the ringleader. And all the Smurfs were her husbands, right? And she was running like a cult,
right, that sold drugs
and forced their people to use drugs. That's right. how she was able to get like 120 husbands, and
and the old guy just had no clue,
and everybody just went along with it.
But did Papa Smurf have a clue?
No, but a lot, here's the thing. People would lick his ass.
Right. But I think Papa Smurf probably approved of the Smurf berries.
Yeah.
So that's their economy. He would have had to approve that since he's the oldest guy in the village or whatever.
Is he, or is he just somebody who used way too many Smurf berries?
He could have used way too many Smurf berries. I think maybe they were a drug peddling cult.
Yeah, you ever see like a 30-year-old person who looks to be about 82?
Yeah.
Just fucking tweaking out of their mind.
Gone.
Yeah.
Or you see people that you knew before they moved to LA, and then you see them like 2 years after they moved to LA and their fucking soul is gone.
Yeah.
You ever seen that in somebody?
No, but I believe it.
I've seen it, dude.
LA is a kind of horrible.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like you could lose yourself really easy in LA.
I don't even like driving. Well, of course I don't like driving through LA.
Right.
I do my best to avoid it when I can.
Right. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready for the third one?
Yeah.
The backmasking myth.
The backmasking myth?
Yep.
I don't.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The Panic turned every teenager's bedroom into a DIY exorcism. People started spinning records like Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven backwards, convinced they'd hear hidden prayers to the devil. It's a classic case of audio pareidolia.
Yeah, if you listen to enough shit backwards, eventually some of it is going to sound like something regular. Yeah.
Right. If you tell someone they're about to hear Sweet Satan, their brain will turn a backward guitar riff into a demonic shout out every single time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it will.
Yeah.
That's just the way your brain works.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you direct it towards making a connection, it'll make that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard about a lot of songs. I heard Judas Priest once had to go to court because two guys killed themselves. So they're listening to the song, was it stained glass or broken stained glass or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they listened to it backwards, and supposedly it said, "Shoot, just do it, shoot yourself." Mm-hmm. But it's not true.
Right.
They won the case court. They won the court case because the families wanted to sue them for like $12 million or something, which back in the 80s is a lot of money.
Yeah, man. Ozzy got sued for some kid committed suicide after listening to who was a fan of Ozzy, right? Yeah. And it was
Suicide Solution.
Yeah, right? Which is a great song.
Yeah.
And one I totally identify with, but it's not at all about suicide.
No, it's not.
And he won that case handily.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when people do that with music where they think there's hidden messages in songs. I don't know. As a guy that was a kind of a musician, I say kind of because, I did some stuff musically, but you never sit around in a recording studio and go, you know what we should do, guys? You know what we should do?
Hide satanic.
We should hide satanic messages in our songs.
Here's the difference between you and Judas Priest.
Right.
Supposedly. Right. Let's make sure we don't get a lawsuit here. Here's the difference between you and them. They're Satanists. So when they record an album, that is what they do.
Yeah. And I remember back in the day where everybody, it's so silly now when you think about like most Led Zeppelin lyrics were about the fucking, what's that?
Butt sex?
No, they weren't about butt sex.
A few of them were.
A few of them were, but a lot of them were also about the Hobbit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's weird that people would get, like, Stairway to Heaven is all about the Hobbit.
Is it really?
Well, not Stairway to Heaven. Which one is it?
I know the one you're thinking of.
Ramble On. Maybe? Is it Ramble On that I'm thinking? Because he mentions...
Yeah, it's Ramble On.
Yeah, Ramble On. Yeah. Ramble On is all about the Hobbit, and people used to think that song was a Satanist song. Like, it's Led Zeppelin, dude. Like, you turn on a Led Zeppelin song like Black Dog or something. Where could you find some Satanist stuff in Led Zeppelin? Like,
I don't think you can. You know, a group that used to freak people out, Black Sabbath,
right?
And if you listen to the lyrics, like their shit is actually shockingly optimistic and upbeat and sometimes even spiritual.
Right.
And it's all very like fucking peace and love and, all that.
Yeah. Because I can remember when people like used to think Kiss was a satanic band. Kiss. And that's silly.
Yeah.
I mean, they had songs like Love Gun. How is Love Gun a satanic song?
I feel like Love Gun could be a term for one's...
Well, that's what it's about.
Yeah. And Satan loves penises. Ask anyone.
Ask any Satanist.
Don't ask a Satanist. Ask any Christian, and they'll tell you that one of the things Satan loves most of all
is penises.
Is penises.
Isn't there a theory that
Satan wants penises everywhere?
Right? Isn't there a theory that Satan will bite your penis off if you masturbate too much?
I've never heard that one, and I'm glad I haven't, because it might have robbed some joy from me in my life.
Satan will just come out of your bedroom floor and bite your dick off.
God damn. Satan will... I've heard you might go blind.
I've heard that, too.
I've heard you might grow hair on your palms.
Yeah, all of which are not true.
Yeah.
All of which are not true.
These are theories that I have tested extensively, and I can disprove them.
Oh, dude, I loved it. It was the Satanic Panic of the 80s, because I can remember, like, if you were all black,
yeah,
and you listened to heavy metal music, you were automatically, didn't matter what kind of person you were.
Yeah,
you were a Satanist.
You were a Satanist. Play Dungeons and Dragons. You're a Satanist.
Yeah,
yeah.
You play the devil's game.
Yeah,
you smoke the devil's lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I can remember. Yeah, dude, it was a crazy time.
But if you go online, you will find that there is currently something very much like the Satanic Panic in a borderline mainstream way going around.
Is there?
On the internet, yeah. Like today.
Really? Is everybody saying Republicans are Satanists?
No. But you got to think about the demographic, right? The people who like really bought into the Satanic Panic were the religious people who believed in Satan.
Right.
And then secondly, the people who were like, afraid of new things and change and all that.
Right.
So, i.e. conservative folk.
Yeah, suburban people in the 80s.
Yeah. So it's conservative folk that it appeals to. There's a lot less of it now than there was a few years ago.
Right.
I'll tell you that. And it's because the satanic stuff, they were like, especially if you go to look back to the QAnon, the Satan shit and Satan worshippers and lizard people and all that.
I remember that.
And there were like millions of people who really believed in this shit. And they also really believed all sorts of stuff that in the fullness of time proved to be completely false.
Right.
And so enough of them have looked at that and been like, meh.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be like, maybe I was wrong on that.
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong on that.
Yeah. But it turns out there might actually be something to this Pizzagate thing.
Yeah. Pizzagate?
Yeah. Remember Pizzagate?
No.
Yeah. 2016 or 2017, some dude goes into a pizzeria in D.C., shoots the place up.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
Yeah, because he was convinced it was like a front for a child trafficking for sex and blood sacrifice thing.
Right.
And it was just a pizza shop. Yeah.
It's just a pizza. Guy,
but then it turns out like Jeffrey Epstein and some of his people,
right?
Like they used to, in their communications, they would refer to pizza when they were talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
It's crazy. That whole thing is crazy too.
Dude, that whole thing is, the Jeffrey Epstein thing, as wild as it is, nothing about it surprised me.
Right.
Not a single thing about it.
See, that's the thing. Like it doesn't surprise me either. Like they're like rich people that need some way to get their rocks off in private.
Yeah, if you can afford to do anything at all, right. So eventually you try everything, and the way the human condition is if you have it, it's no longer good enough. You want the next thing.
Right.
So eventually, some percentage of people with the resources will go towards torture, rape, and murder.
That's just how they do it.
Yeah, it's just
let me try. I'm so rich and I have so much money. Let me try some torture, rape, and murder.
Dude, it's basically a law of nature, and it's something that you see throughout history. Right. And to think that this has gone on through all human history, but it's not going on today. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that you have nothing better to do. You're so rich. You're so wealthy. You have nothing better to do. That you're going to go to some island. And
Hey, man, if I was a billionaire, I would love to go to some island on a private jet and
Right.
fucking lounge and go snorkeling. I don't like snorkeling, but, do that or whatever. Everything but the fucking rapey stuff.
Yeah, the rapey stuff ain't cool.
Yeah, that ain't cool. So I'd probably go to some other island. That
Right.
said, I had a thought. I had an idea
Right.
today, and the idea was this. I bet at some point the government is going to auction off Epstein Island.
Probably.
And I bet you could get that place for a song.
I bet you could.
Yeah.
bet
And so I'm
But then you got to be the guy that bought Epstein's Island. And that's like the guy, that's like in the same boat as the guy that paid like $1 million for the Wu-Tang album that nobody else got.
yeah, that it is, and maybe worse. But here's the thing. Fuck it, because I'll just hang out on my island,
Right.
where I won't do awful shit,
Yeah,
right?
Awful shit.
I'll be like,
But
yeah,
dude,
awful shit happened here, but I don't believe in ghosts,
Right.
and so fuck it.
But you'd have to probably do some digging around, finding taking out all the fucking cameras and all that shit that's on that island. You know what I mean? Because they probably left everything pretty much intact, I would imagine. I bet it's abandoned. I bet what's going to happen is, being that it's abandoned right now,
Yeah.
and everything's kind of left there, is some YouTube dude is going to figure out how to go and explore that island.
All you need is a boat, man.
Yeah. A boat and a dream.
A boat and a dream, and you can get there and fucking
be the first YouTube guy to explore Epstein's Island.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they do like some regular patrols by there just to make sure
Right.
people aren't doing that.
Yeah. Because there's an island on Disney, and in Disney World. Disney World, yeah, that's the one in Florida. That closed down years ago.
Yeah.
It was like a ride, or so. It was like a zoo. They had animals and shit, and you got people exploring that shit all the time. Now you can't explore it because they're doing some kind of secret build there.
All right.
But like a few years ago, back in the pandemic, like all these fools were going over there and exploring this.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I fucking love exploring abandoned shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Like I would be into exploring abandoned malls and shit. I'd be way into it.
Yeah. All that said, I would love it. I think it would be so cool to have Epstein's Island, and if you could get it for like $8, right?
$8.
Yeah, and then it's just like a project. I'll tear it down to the studs and put in fresh
how much shit you would get for that?
Yeah, I do. But then I'll invite people over.
I'll invite people over. But you'd have to make it, if you invited people over, it couldn't be rich people. Like, you'd have to make a difference somehow.
Make a difference?
Yeah, like if you just do the same thing that was already done on the island, you're just another rich asshole.
I would not be doing the same thing that was done on that island. Thank you very much. I could invite only billionaires and find plenty of things to do other than what was done on that island.
Right. I think on that note, I think it's time to end the episode.
Yeah. Also,
that was a good episode.
I don't think I'm friends with any billionaires.
Yeah, either am I.
But maybe one way to become friends is to get Epstein Island.
Right. That's it. It's, hey, you go up to me and you're like, hey, dude, I have my own island.
Not even, I get it. And then they'll hear about it. And then somebody will be like, hey, man, you down for a pizza party?
You're like, well, no.
And I'll be like, okay, let's forward this to the FBI.
Anyway, that's it. If you listen to the episode all the way through, we appreciate you. If you like this episode, if you like our stuff, man, leave us a review wherever you listen to this podcast. It really helps us out. Give us a 4-star review, 5-star review, write a little thing. Maybe you don't like how we talk. I don't know. Maybe you like our little jokes.
Maybe you don't.
Maybe
whatever.
You don't. Whatever.
Just write something.
Just give us a review.
Give us a review, even if it's gobbledygook.
Yeah. Gobbledygook would be a good review. You give us a little 5-star review and all you say is gobbledygook.
That's cool. That's cool. But honestly, if you review and say, hey, I'd love you guys to discuss this thing or that thing.
Yeah, because we are doing 3 fun facts now.
Yeah, we're taking requests.
So we're taking requests. You got 3 fun facts you want us to do? Shoot them our way. Go to our website. You can get in touch with us there. And the website is ShayneandIShow.com.
Yeah.
Anyway, until next time, America, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.